Hey everybody, welcome. Not quite old, not quite young. I am here today because I realized after dropping off my daughter a little bit ago that I am having a midlife crisis. Yeah, I have been talking to a good friend, and then I was talking to just kind of some people in my circle, all these women, and then yesterday I had this call which really solidified it. And I was like, yep, I think I'm officially having a effing midlife crisis. And so, since I am midlife, I checked with Webster, good old Webster's dictionary, and Webster defined a midlife crisis as a time of emotional volatility in midlife where one is pursuing radical change. And I was like, midlife? Check. Lots of feels, lots of emotion? Check. Pursuing change? Double check. Is that relatable? Like, that definition is actually really accurate for, I think, me, but also a lot of people I know, especially women who I'm talking to, because we're in this wild place of, at least for so many of us, where we've got this overwhelming opportunity coming up with kids moving out, kids moving on, more time, more flex space. And yet that's creating a sense of emotion and opportunity that is really kind of new. So anyway, so I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about this idea of midlife crisis, and how I'd really just rather buy a Maserati and have a sports car like the stereotypical guys do. Then I decided not really, I don't really want that. And I wanted to really think about how am I grounding in this, and blah, 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 all these things I think about. So in yoga, we do something, we talk about Sthira and Sukham, and this is this idea of being strong and steady and grounded, but also easeful and fluid. And I like to think beautiful, right? Not rigid, flowing. And so that was really kind of relating to me as well, because I feel like right now, this opportunity to not like go crazy and blow up our lives, but to know what we stand for, know where our power comes from, know who the people are who are in our corner, and have this really cool sense of self, can collide with in the most like amazing way with an opportunity and a time for evolution and change and like transformation. So that was going on in my head too. And I was also thinking about how, like, when I do visioning, if I think about my life for the next 50 years, not changing, not shaking things up, not exploring my next phase, sounds way scarier and way riskier to me than staying in the same place. I actually, that makes my skin kind of crawl when I think about how comfortable I am in so many ways, but how if I were to not shake things up, I think it would just like, it truly just gives me the creeps, because I think I would feel so stuck. And so the scary aspect of the risk is like, I'm there, I'm ready to activate some change. Which gets me to kind of like the way I'm thinking about this. And I would love to hear from you all. I don't like the word midlife crisis because crisis sounds like something that's happening to me, right? It kind of feels a little victim-y, a little bit, and it sounds like something that's unavoidable. And maybe this all is unavoidable, but I started playing with some words and I was like, midlife evolution. I had a couple words, midlife transformation. Like, what am I going through right now? And I was trying to define it a little bit. And the word I landed on was midlife activation. And so to me, obviously the word activation has the word action in it. So it's empowering and it's active and it feels to me very self-guided, self-driven in a way that I really want to explore and in a way that I feel like keeps me in the driver's seat. Odd posturing, but keeps me in the driver's seat of this time of change and opportunity and risk in the way that crisis makes me feel like I'm a victim. So I feel like at this point, I just want to lean a little bit into the Sthira, the Sukham, right? So I want to stay rooted in my values. I want to honor my commitments. I want to be there for my family. I want to choose to be intentional. And then I also have this ease to myself where I want to allow experimentation. I want to try wild things. I want to experience the cringe, right? This YouTube channel is a perfect example of that. Doing things professionally that I've created space for that are different, that are scary, that are kind of fun. And balancing the two of those in a way that feels really active, that feels really intentional, and feels exciting. So as I would love to hear, does this resonate with y'all? Do you feel like you've ever hit that feeling where staying the same sounds scarier than changing? And thinking about how the second half of our life, what worked for us in our first 50 years doesn't have to be the same stuff that works for us in the second half. And we have this permission to test and experiment because we've gotten this far. So that is it for midlife activation as opposed to midlife crisis. I'm going to noodle on it. This change, this experimentation has opened a whole lot of just interesting things for me in terms of lots of aspects in my life. And I would love to hear from you as well. Everything physically, I've lined up some plastic surgery consults to exploring faith and religion to career. And I'm excited for it. So that's it for this week. I see you next Wednesday. And, if you do want to hang out in person, there are a few spots available for our retreat in Charleston, South Carolina on Folly Beach. Would love to see you there. Details are in the description. And just have a great day.